Well, so your process now that you went from the back of the class to the car with your boys, and now you've got songs out. Now you're putting out projects and a handful of singles, and you've got this new project you're working on, and you're waiting for the mixes. What is your creative process like? And we'll get Jake in on this too, but just speak a little bit about your creative process.
Yeah. So a lot of people think with music, that's just really complex. Like I'm sitting here writing lyrics for a month before I go in the studio.
Yeah.
It's just not the case, bro. Like,
right.
to be honest with you, like my ultimate goal is to be able to get to the point where I can make music for a living. I'll tell you why. So like, right now, I have a solid career. Everybody's got their plan B. Plan B is not my focus, but I will say that, I've always got something to fall back on. If I took that time that I'm using for plan B and focus that, on the music shit and spent 45, 50 hours a week like I do working my music shit, it'd be a different ball game. Because what happens is, I step in the studio, walk in there, and, Jake's playing beats for me and shit that I haven't heard yet. He'll go through and play, a good selection. He'll go through and start playing, 5, 10 beats, whatever, how many beats he's got at the time, 2, 3. And I'm like, whoa, like, stop right there. Like, I'm ready to hop on that beat right there. So, I'll pick out that song, and I'm telling you, within about 20 minutes, I got a whole song written.
Nice.
I'll step in the studio, probably spend about 25, 30 minutes there. And then from there, that song's finished recording, from your in and outs, your ad-libs, from your layers, from the hook, from the verse, anything that I want to do with it. So really it's under an hour for me from the time I walk in the studio to the time I hear a beat, to the time I write a song and record it. You look at how much time that I could spend on that a week working. I could record 50, 60 songs a week, no problem. And make this shit consistent. So it's definitely a creative process in the sense where I walk in. My biggest thing is I don't like distractions. So like when I walk in the studio, I don't mind if people come to the studio, but I definitely don't want you like asking me questions, don't be hollering me, hollering about this and that.
Right.
Goes Big Fibby right there. So I don't really like distractions in the studio. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be I walk in there and whoever's there to work. Don't be on your phone. Don't be sleeping. Don't be in there making noise. I definitely don't like drunk bitches in the studio.
That's a no. That's a no right there. That's too much of a distraction.
Too much, bro. They'll be trying to hop in the booth and shit. Which is good on occasion to have friends come through and shit. But like,
yeah.
My girl doesn't even go to the studio. So if that kind of tells you like, where the focus is on that.
Right. Is that Jake? He made it. Yo,
what's going on, Kev?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Nice to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too. I'm glad we could get you on here. We we had to get that exclusive artist producer duo, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Hold on, let me get this set up.
Yeah. Take your time. Are you on your computer or your phone?
I'm on my computer.
Oh, okay, bad. Right, yeah. So Jake, welcome to the show. Good to have you on here.
What's up,
Louisville,
man?
episode 22. So, we're just getting the rundown on Tate, when he started rapping, how he started, different things like that. And I asked him about his, creative process, and I wanted to get your input and take on all that. How do you all, he said that Tate just spoke about, he'll come in the studio and you be playing beats, and then he just hops on, and in about 20 minutes he's got a song. So what's your part in that? I know you produce and make beats, but what's the process like for you?
Man, I really just find somewhere to make a beat and then cook up. If I think Tate could flow on it, I send it to him. Actually I don't send it to him.
He don't send me beats no more. He don't send them.
Hey, yeah.
He doesn't want me to start recording and start writing until I'm in the studio.
I don't like for him to write when he's at home, because I think he takes too much time. I think it's better when it's more organic in the studio. So I like to let him hear him when he's actually there. So I don't like to send him out. But
right, okay. So do you make beats like, I guess you said you make beats like if you're making one for Tate, if you think he could flow on it, do you make beats for certain people, or do you just start pressing buttons and just make whatever?
I mean, I try to make beats for certain people. It doesn't always go as planned. So mostly I kind of just go with the flow. I mean, right now, honestly, everything I make is kind of made for Tate, honestly, because you know we work together the most, and I know he's an artist that'll always hop on, so there's no problem with giving him that. So yeah, most of the time it's for Tate, but I try to make other stuff. I mean, it happens sometimes. You just never know.
Right. Yeah. So it seems like y'all have got a pretty tight relationship in terms of the music. I know you did the Tate. You just said that first EP. What was it called? Jake produced the whole thing.
Yeah, Nectar was the first.
Nectar. Yeah, Nectar.
Project.
Yeah.
Nectar was the first exclusive project.
Yeah. So, and then after that, y'all kind of, is that when y'all kind of got like rolling together, or were you all, or had you been like working for a while?
Shit. I mean, I would say like when you go look at my other projects, those are, you know, a lot of production that's done by other people. Mm-hmm. So I would say probably after Nectar, which was, I would say around winter time of 2019, like January of 2019, that we kind of started working pretty much exclusively. Like, to be honest, I don't want anybody else's beats right now because a couple things. One, like, I just don't like anybody else's beats, you know what I'm saying? Especially at a Louisville. Like, I listen to a lot of people and a lot of beats, but it's just like, the ones that I feel relate to me the most and the ones that like I know that I can do the most damage on is on Jake's beats. So I don't know. It's just that's just not really my scene to be messing with a lot of producers right now.
Yes, well, and if it seems like y'all got a pretty organic process, and if y'all work like that, you know, it's not like, you know, why fix it if it's not broken, you know? Yeah. It seems like y'all got it down pretty pat. So talking about your music releases, Tate, what is your opinion on SoundCloud? Because it seems like you use that exclusively.
Yeah, so I do have music out on Apple and Spotify.
Okay.
I definitely got music out there. I actually dropped Nectar on
I think Spotify, I remember listening to that on Spotify.
And it was on Apple Music. It was on everything. You know, when I release something, I go through a digital networking site called TuneCore. So I can release it at every single streaming service. You know, I got it on Tidal, I got it on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, all of them. But YouTube Music. But I took Nectar off there not terribly long ago, a while ago. The main reason being is because I started working on my next project, and like, you know, if I'm gonna invest into myself, I want to make sure that I do it top notch. So, you know, really the only stuff that you're gonna find on there right now is some singles. You'll find a couple different projects, but most of what I got on there right now is just singles. With SoundCloud, reason I use SoundCloud the most is because you're going to get the most exposure on there. I mean, you know, you look at one of my most recent releases, Back with Gang, just started popping. It's got like 200,000 views right now.
I wanted to talk to you about that. Are you doing any type of promo? I would guess, but like...
Yeah, I mean, you know, I definitely do promo. I would say I probably did promo enough to reach an audience of probably like 50,000 people. You know, so out of reaching those people, how many people actually clicked on it? You know, probably like 20,000. You know, so I have a lot of organic listens on that. I'm definitely not a believer in like the whole like purchase and play shit. Like, that's fucking weird to me.
It's just not very. It's not very.
It doesn't do anything productive for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that reflects in my music. You know, just based upon how many likes and how many reposts I have on those songs, you can look and see how organic it is. You know, so I had a lot of producers hit me up after I dropped that shit. I would say I use SoundCloud mainly just to reach, you know, as organic of an audience as I possibly can. Let's get one thing straight, Kev. Like, when it comes to my music shit, people pay me. I don't pay people. You know what I'm saying? When I start doing my shows, which we'll talk about later on, you know, people pay me. I don't pay them for my music shit. You know, so I'm a professional. So what that means to me is, you know, when I send my music out to these blogs, they're like, fuck yeah, we'll put that shit on. So I got placements on there for free, obviously. And so what that did is, you know, you get added on to like Spotify playlists, you get added on to SoundCloud playlists and things like that, where you're going to get more exposure. Yeah. And once people start reposting and liking that shit, then it's popping up. It's just like social media. It's a timeline, you know what I'm saying? When everybody else sees, oh, so-and-so's liking this song, they're going to go through and listen to it too. So that's kind of how that works.
Cool, man. Yeah, because you've got getting some clout. I saw that the other day. I was like, dang. But then, like, I see that what's the other song? The Do What I Do, you know, it's got like it not anywhere near as much, but I was just curious what you were doing with those last couple of songs.
Yeah, definitely. I pushed them more because I knew they were of higher quality. You know, Do What I Do is a song I recorded, I want to say, in the old apartment I stayed at, or maybe it was even at my house I'm at now. But, you know, those are songs that, like, the songs that I feel like are radio ready and the songs that I feel like have the most potential are the ones that I'm going to go push. So, you know, with this project, by far the best music I've ever made, so I'm going to push that shit even harder. So I would like to see that reach out there. Obviously, that's going to be on Apple, Spotify, everything as well. So definitely going to have a lot of promotion coming up. I think there's definitely an oversaturation of not only producers but rappers mainly. Like, you know, you look at the Louisville area, and I'm sure people out there are going to say the same shit about me. But, you know, when I look at how many people are making music and how many people are making beats and stuff, it's like, it's definitely a dope thing to see. For a city like Louisville that's not really on the map, like Jack's obviously popping, and Bryson Tiller is more of an R&B artist, and he's pops.
Right.
There's people in Louisville that are doing well for themselves. OS Drip's making his own wave. But in a general aspect of it, you know, obviously B-Sim's made it out too and done his thing, but like, there's definitely an oversaturation of artists, and what I mean by that is like, there's a lot of people who are putting out music just to do it. For us, you know, I think I can speak for both me and Jay when I say, like, it goes beyond just music for us. You know, we have dreams and ambitions and goals.
Right.
So I think a lot of it is people, you know, I look at studio times and I look at how many artists are in there. I'm like, these dudes are, like, not to be an asshole, but these dudes don't have a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, and it's mainly just from a creative standpoint, like, or they're just copying the same flows. Like the Detroit sound is huge right now in this area.
Like the scam type of.
Yeah, like everybody's rapping like Detroit artists right now, and everybody's rapping like so and so. Like, I'm looking for Louisville to make its own wave, and maybe Louisville's own wave is having a bunch of artists with different sounds, you know, that are dope. And so, from my perspective, you know, I just look at it like, why is everybody trying to do something that's not already, like, that's already done? Why would you not try to be more original with your music? So it's like, I don't know. It's just my personal thoughts on it. I mean, obviously, Louisville's a hating ass city, and they don't want to see it out. I'll be honest with you. Like,
no, that's a big topic I talked about on the first season of this show with a lot of artists. Man, it's like in the business, bro, the music business. It's done in a very inefficient way in Louisville, and it just, you know, it's just not there yet. The music business in Louisville,
it's a bunch of people who act and think that they know what's happening.
Yes.
Like,
now
to Atlanta, like, that's how the music industry works, and that's going to operate completely different. That's why I look at D. Lee as inspiration, because, you know, he's out there doing his thing. He's down in Atlanta figuring out his wave, and he's doing a great job at that.
Right.
And then you look at all the people who are stuck in the mindset of like Louisville, like, bro, the goal's not to make it in Louisville. The goal's to make it worldwide. You know, I'm not looking to, that shit's fire. I'm not looking to make a wave in Louisville. Obviously, I want to have my city's back, and it may sound hypocritical of what I have said previously, but like, I think there's a lot of people with egotistical problems here in Louisville, and they don't want to see other people make it out because they haven't made it out themselves. You know, But I look at it like, well, maybe you're doing something wrong. You know, maybe that's on you.
Right. I mean, you know, that, you know, I love Louisville, but I mean, I moved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I was gonna move back to Nashville. You know, people ask me, "Oh man, why are you moving? Why are you moving?" You know, like, just some of my friends and stuff, and it's like, bro, like, I'm out with Louisville. You know, I'm in Music City now. You know what I'm saying?
Do you like Nashville?
Oh yeah, Nashville's great, bro. It's you know, where I'm at, I'm in Smyrna, so it's like 20 minutes east of like downtown Nashville. Right. But like, either way, bro, it's like a 15-minute drive right into Nashville, and it's amazing. Like, I went to school at Middle Tennessee, so I was in that's in Murfreesboro, which is like 20 minutes east further. So, but yeah, I knew I was coming back here. I had to get back here. But yeah, Nashville's great. Dope. A lot of dope studios, a lot of great engineers, and the rap scene here, you know, it's mostly country, but it's a lot of good music, country, folk, and but the rap scene here is definitely, it's growing, and it's there's some good rappers here, I can't lie, but
There's gotta be some.
Right, yeah.
It's a major city. It's an urban city.
Exactly. Nashville's dope though. Now, Jake, do you do much mixing? I saw you mixed one song for
Yeah.
Tate?
Yeah, it was just really at a time we didn't have any engineers, and I was like,
Yeah,
I'll try to do it. So I tried to figure it out for the time being, and it's just hard to do that on FL, honestly.
yeah.
It's
But it can be done, you know.
no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. What? So you just didn't have. There was no engineers, so you had to step up to the plate. You had to get in there, get your mixing game right. How was it? How did it turn out? Because I can't remember which song it was.
I don't know either.
I mean, Gertrude, that whole project he's got on the SoundCloud was mixed by him.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know if that's
I
true.
know Gumdrop was mixed by him.
I don't know if that's accurate, but yeah, no, I mixed a couple. It was tough. I don't really still know much about it. I mean, I know how to mix my beats, but other than that, I mean, for the most part, I know how to mix my beats. I mean, it's not really too important. Like, I know leveling is really just basically what you need. Like, if you have good samples and
Exactly. Especially with these drum kits now, these sounds and these 808s and stuff, where you don't even need a whole lot of mixing as long as it's smacking and it's hitting. But
for sure.
I try to always make sure, like, in my beats, like, you know, if something, you know, it might be, you know, really hard, but, like, you know, I try to, like, use a second ear on it and be like, okay, maybe there's probably something I could do to make it a little better. But sometimes when you do that and it just doesn't sound as good, it's just like, man, just leave it.
You don't want to overdo it.
Exactly.
Don't ever overdo it. Yeah.
Nothing worse than an overcooked meal, bro.
Corey said Chilly the best producer out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shout out to Vinci. He's a new upcoming rapper that I'm gonna put on after Tate gets on and good.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out Vinci, that's my boy. Vinci's hard. Shout out my boy
Vinci.
AC. Shout out my boy AC. He's an Australian producer. He's fucking hard too. But my boy Vinci, once I get on, I'm putting my boy Vinci on, no doubt. Shout out my boy Jay Harney. Shout out my boy Jared. Shout out Nemo. Shout out.
Oh my God.
You know.
Yeah, I know all those guys. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
shout out Schnur's my fucking boy. Been working with him since day one. My fucking dog. Go peep his new song out, Po Boy.
I saw that he's got a song I was gonna listen to before the show. I'm about to listen to it right now.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Schnur. Farewell. Shout out Cam. Shout out my little brother Corey. Shout out Reed. Shout out Huber. Shout out all my boys. And definitely shout out my lady downstairs.
Yeah. Okay.